If you guys are in need of any grinding services, hit up my guy Rose NBA on Twitter. From domination to getting you guys a 95 plus overall hidden gem, he does it all. What's up, y'all? Inside in this video today, we're going to be going over building the best squad that you guys can be running right now in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Now, with that being said, I don't really like to spend MT. Number two, this squad assembled is going to be over 5 million MT. And so just keep those two things in the back of your mind. It's an insanely expensive squad, number one. And number two, it's not necessarily a squad that I would spend up to build. So keep those things in the back of your guys' minds as we do dive into this thing. And again, if you are new to the channel, man, please smash that subscribe button. Really do appreciate all of the recent support on the channel. So, point guard position. I'm not plugging in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Why? He's not attainable. Like, if you didn't get Shai, you can't get Shai. And so I'm not going to plug him in this video. It just does not feel right for me to do. So my starting point guard instead, either way, it would be this guy, Sidney Moncrief. I think he is the most complete point guard in the entire game. Now, the problem with Sidney Moncrief is he's not cheap, right? He's still going to be really, really, really expensive, but I really like Sidney Moncrief. I like what he provides for you guys on the court. And genuinely, at the point guard position, he's the best defensive point guard in the game. He is. Like, there's no better defensive player at that position than Sidney Moncrief. Offensively, he's fine. Is he a primary ball handler? No. But he can knock down shots at a really high level with that. It's just such a good release. I don't want to gas it too much, but his release is absolutely outstanding. Sidney Moncrief, my starting point guard. At the two guard, Dr. J. Julius Erving is the best shooting guard in the game, the most complete shooting guard in the game, can run to the rim, can play defense, can knock down shots. There's nothing that Dr. J can't do on this game. This guard is an absolute beast, an absolute stud, and is deserving to make my best squad in the game. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Dr. J, an absolute stud. Now, the problem with Julius Erving is, if you didn't get him during, yesterday, really, his price is only going to go up. Like, his price is not going down. He is probably going to be the best shooting guard in the game for the next month or so. So, these cards so far were at 1.5, 1.6 million, 1.7 maybe million coins with just Sidney Moncrief and Julius Erving. Headline, this small forward position, we got Pink Diamond LeBron. With this, we're at 3 million MT so far, and we've plugged in 3 players. The problem with LeBron James is this. He's just so rare. There are 0 up on the PlayStation auction house right now at the time I am recording this video. If you don't see that being a problem, I don't know what to tell you guys. That is an absolute big, massive problem on this game. The inability to obtain players. Like, LeBron, it's impossible. If you didn't get LeBron basically day one, you're not going to be able to ever run the card. It's really that realistic, that honest with you guys. So, LeBron, I love his release. I love his player model, player build, defensively. He's an absolute beast, an absolute stud. But he is ridiculously expensive. At the power forward position, I really like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, not the Galaxy Opal, the Pink Diamond Giannis. The problem I have with Giannis is this. He's another card that is really tough to obtain. Like, again, another Season 1 card. Right now, there are 3 Giannis's up on the PlayStation auction house. The thing about Giannis is this. He shouldn't be able to shoot that well, but nobody misses with Giannis. Everybody greens really consistently with the card. They're knocked down with him. He plays incredibly good defense. Offensively is an absolute stud as well. Giannis is going to be Giannis. You know what you're getting out of the card. In my opinion, the best power forward right now in the game. Now, you guys might disagree. You guys might like some other power forwards, and that's okay. But in my opinion, Giannis, especially with what he gives you guys on that defensive side of the ball, is tough to beat. At the center position, Victor Wembanyama. And just with this starting lineup, you're over 5 million MT. If you want to know the problem with the game, this is the problem. The best starting 5 that you can build is 5 million MT. And a side note, I want to talk about this. Do you know how much you would have to spend on this game to make 5 million MT? You'd probably have to spend, well, I don't know the exact numbers. If I were to guess, you would probably have to spend a couple grand on this game to just get the starting 5 here. That is sad. That is ridiculous, and I don't know what else there is to say about it. It's sad, it's ridiculous, but if you spend a couple of grand, you can build this starting 5. That is so sickening to me. And I'd like to have good teams, but it's ridiculous. Like, Wemby's going to be Wemby. He's the best card in the game, the most overpowered card in the game. But, again, you're looking at over 5 million coins. Backup point guard, again, I'm not plugging in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Why? It's because he's not an auctionable card. Devin Booker, my backup point guard. I think Devin Booker offensively is an absolute beast, an absolute stud. The problem with Devin Booker is this. He came out in Season 1. So the card is so rare. Right now, there are no Devin Bookers up on the auction house. If we want to talk about the problems with 2K, I would say, yes, prices are an issue, but the supply of these cards are issues as well. Like, these cards are so rare. They're impossible to get in NBA 2K25. And I think a lot of it just has to do with the fact of this. You know what? People are locking in sets, and if they get Devin Booker, they're locking in sets, although that's a horrible thing to do. But people are doing it, so there's really no Devin Bookers in circulation. Although I do think he's one of the best point guards in the game. He is so overpowered on the offensive end of the court. It's just the fact that nobody gets Devin Booker. It's that simple, that easy to understand. Devin Booker, so good offensively. Nobody could obtain the card. Shooting guard position, I'm plugging in Paul George. Another card that came out in Season 1. And so if we want to talk about like the pacing of this game, you guys can very clearly see why it's a problem. LeBron, Giannis, Devin Booker, Paul George. 4 out of these 7 cards came out in Season 1. That's a huge issue. That's a huge issue, 2K. We can't keep doing this for future years. It makes it ridiculous. Paul George is one up on the auction house. You cannot obtain the card. Although I love Paul George, he is the second best shooting guard in the game. You can't obtain him. And so far, we're looking at 6.5 million coins on this squad. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It has never been this expensive to build the best squad in the game as it is right now. It is ridiculous. It's honestly sad. Paul George, the epitome of a perfect 3-and-D player for your specific squad. I mean, if you've got Paul George, you've got the second best shooting guard in the game. He's not as good as Julius Erving, but outside of him, the second best shooting guard in the game. Small forward, here we're not going to spend too much. Paolo Banchero, maybe your cheapest option on this entire, I don't even want to call it on this entire squad. Paolo Banchero, an absolute stud, did come out in Season 2, so there are plenty of Paulos up. But for a base Paulo, you're still spending 400,000 coins on the card. Oh my goodness, guys. It is ridiculously expensive to build a good squad. I love Paulo as much as the next guy. But it is absolutely blasphemy. Is that the word I'm looking for? How expensive this card is. And I like Paulo, but my oh my. The fact that he is 400,000 coins for a base version of the card is ridiculous. I thought he would be inexpensive. And here we are. Right after, super packs drop, you think cards are going to go down in price, and they did a little bit. But man, Paulo's price is still absolutely absurd. And right now, we're looking at 7 million coins for this squad. Oh my goodness, 7 million coins. Okay, heading to the backup power forward, plugging in Hakeem Olajuwon. For a basic game, you're looking at 700,000 coins for the card. Can play power forward, which is nice. It's helpful. But again, 700,000 coins. Hakeem plays great defense. I love his player build. Good 3-ball, solid enough speed. Hakeem is an absolute beast in this game. There's really no questions asked, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Hakeem Olajuwon is an absolute stud. Obviously, really expensive. That's tough to figure out. That's, obviously a big red flag. But what do you do? Again, this is not a video for the budget guys. This is a video if you want the best guys in the squad who to pick up. Backup center position, we're plugging in Joel Embiid. He's only, 400,000 coins? At least he's not as expensive as some of the other guys. But even that, now we're at 9 million coins for this starting 10. 9 million coins. And that's not an over-exaggeration. That's what this squad is. Because LeBron's 1.7. Wemby's nearly 2 million coins. Paul George is 1 million. Dr. J is 1 million. That's not an exaggeration. That is how much this squad is. And again, to get 9 million coins, you're probably looking at $5,000 or so to get this type of a squad on this game. And so, again, a lot of people ask me, Ty, why do you not upgrade your squad? Well, you want me to spend $5,000 on the game? Is that what you guys want? I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. This squad, this is your best 10. I'm going to be plugging in the last 3 cards here, and then we'll do a total calculation on how much this squad costs. Here I'm plugging in Zach LaVine. I think if you're not including SGA, is the 3rd best point guard in the entire game. It's like 700, 800,000 coins. At my second bench spot, we're plugging in Kawhi Leonard. He's, 500,000 coins, but he's a perfect 3-and-D guy. If you want to plug him in over Paolo Banchero, I absolutely can see a way to do that. And at my last spot, plugging in a Jaren Jackson Jr. I like him just as much as Hakeem Giannis. If you want to slide him in there, you absolutely can. This squad is over 10 million coins, 10 million MT. And the ridiculous part about it is you're spending 7 to 8 grand for this squad. I don't make the rules. That's what you're spending. And that's going to wrap it up for our video. I wanted to make the best squad. I mean, it's just insanely expensive. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're doing it. As always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.